So I hope so you have coded yesterday's program. Okay, so that forms the beginning of JDBC. There is too much in depth into see what is JDBC. Many institutes do this one class and say JDBC is over. In fact, the real thing of JDBC starts now. Okay, so anyway, let me start off from where I stopped yesterday. I'll give you some debugging tips also, like how to find the errors when you get the errors. Most of you might have coded. See, example, I'll take the first program where I did that JDBC. I'll create an error. Most of you would have tried coding and you would have been unable to trace it. Understood? See this. Right now it's executing, not a problem. Supposingly I give a wrong name like this, Oracle driver. By chance I make D small. There's no class by name what? Oracle driver. So something wrong I do. Yeah, exception. Okay, it will tell this. But fact is, why it is telling me that is because I caught it and I'm printing it. Plus E. You wouldn't have done that. You have to print this variable plus E, whatever it is. So that's why it's giving. Because some of you will do what you know. You'll do this. And then you'll try to run the program. Exception caught, nothing it is displaying. These are your mistakes. So learn programming. Understood? Exception is caught means that exception is occurring. It is occurring here. It is getting caught. It is not going outside. It is printing our message. But how do you know which exception has occurred? Whether SQL exception has occurred or class not found exception, how do you know? So to trace it, we print the name of the exception. So that's why we print plus E. Understood? Now when I print, see now if I don't print for both, just see this. If I don't print for both, right now actually which exception is occurring? Class not found. But how do you know? Because I showed you, you are knowing it. Okay. So otherwise you will not be able to trace it. So now see, this is okay, I'll make this as perfect now. This is correct. I'll make some error in query. Again the exception will occur. But how do you know whether class not found? It's getting caught. But in which catch block? Understood? So that's the reason what we do is, we end up writing plus this E. Clear? The name. So what will happen when it prints? So because toString is overridden, in every exception class toString is overridden, it gives the message. So this is one very crucial point to debug. Next, here comes your stack trace. You know the stack trace method now? And now start using it. It will be very helpful to debug. You will exactly come to know where the exception is or where the problem, which line it is occurring and all that you will come to know now. So this is related to exception handling. In fact, this is not related to JDBC, and I believe you all know exception handling. Yes sir? You know what is there? See, like when I do this now, yes, it will tell class not found exception at, see this line number. In your program, Java Oracle demo .java is the file. In that file, it is occurring at line number what? 14. These are internal classes. See, it goes like this, the trace. Your main method called this one called some other thing, that one called this. So many methods are getting called inside. Okay, but let us look into our method. I made a mistake in line number 14 by calling which one? For name method. So like this we trace. Slowly you'll get the idea of how to debug now. Understood? So what you do now, it is at line number 14 now. Yes. So in fact line numbers are not displayed here. 1 second. There's an option here to show line numbers. Show line numbers. Click here. Editors you go. Click here, show line numbers. Say OK. So you can see now line number 14. Very clearly it will trace now. Yeah. So this is how you debug now. So these are just beginning stages. Even though we don't code anything in Java, we use the library. Understood? Still coding is one challenge. Reason is, coding in Java comes not with intellectual things. It comes with experience and hard coding. Means hard working, sorry. Means to code Java, actually you don't require 90%, 120%, 140%. Those who join newly, 120% means what? 4-5 attempts. Total becomes what? 120%. Some people will take in one shot only 90%. Some people will take 3-4 attempts to get 120%. Whatever percentage you have doesn't matter in Java. End of the day, what you do here is go on calling methods. And I believe to call methods, percentage doesn't matter. Yes or no? To call a method, percentage matters, branch matters, degree matters. You can be any degree, you can be having any percentage, any branch. You are just calling what now? One method. And I believe any engineer can call a method. Yes or no? So just you are calling one method. So that is what we do. But the question here is, which method you'll call when? And that comes with what? Hard work. So here we don't require, see, unlike other languages where you have C, C++ and all that, what do you require? You really require intelligence to code. You should have good percentage, good aptitude skills, everything you should have. But unlike in Java, what happens? Nothing is required. Understood? You come from any stream, any background, only you should have the knowledge of what? Calling a method. So that method is in which class, which package. Okay, so after calling the method, what argument you have to send, how you accept the return type. These are the basics in Java, and we don't code anything, everything is built in here. So Java requires pure patience, getting it, to learn, then what? Hard work, experience, and English knowledge, not which one? C, C++ and all, that and all is not required yet. So with these basics, we can start coding here. I'm just guiding you people how to code Java, because many people think what? Java is something alien language. Alien means what? It's come from some universe. Understood? It is one of the most easiest powerful programming language on earth, and I show you the power of Java today. How powerful it is. In 3-4 days, you'll get the grip into Java so powerfully. Understood? You'll then understand the power of Java. Till now you have seen the power of it, but now you can start seeing how powerful it is and how it starts dominating in the market, and it is irreplaceable. Understood? So let's see. So these are the things, just I gave the idea. So just to keep always your lines visible like this. I don't do it because it will be disturbing for me. Okay, so whenever you code, see to that your lines are displayed. When your exception occurs, you should be able to trace like this now. The last thing what you'll be seeing is your, see here, when you get here, when you run the program, so now it's okay. Okay, whenever you do an exception, see, I'll give a wrong query. So learn coding first, because in company you have to do this only. See line number 25, see the last line, don't see the first line. Understood? And here also you'll get one more, see Aura 00923, that is actually their error. It was Oracle error. I had shown you when I was teaching you what? Oracle database and all that I had shown you. So if you write a wrong query, Oracle will generate this error. So that is database error. This is in Java. In Java it is occurring at line number so and so. Understood? And in database this is the error which is occurring. Getting it now? So practice coding. Java has to be learned with coding. There are many institutes which will not give you a single computer also and teach. It is absolutely rubbish. Java has to be learned with coding, not theoretical. I code and show. Yes, I'm a trainer. I know how to get every output here. Understood? But it is you who have to start getting the output here. Until and unless you get these outputs, it is practically impossible for you to work in companies. Clear? Okay. So this is just I gave an idea about debugging now. Okay, how you get the, so use these two things, SOPE, that objective print, other one is stack trace. These two methods are very important in debugging. Understood? So these two things I just showed you. Are you getting it now? So everywhere go on adding it. These two things in catch block you add this. Print stack trace is a method which is present in what? Throwable class. So it is definitely available to you in all classes. All classes are subclasses of what? Class throwable. You know the hierarchy, no? So you know the hierarchy, you know inheritance. Yes or no? So in inheritance what happens? Class not found exception is a subclass of exception. Exception is a subclass of throwable. So obviously you can, any class, SQL exception is a subclass of exception. Exception is a subclass of anywhere you can call print stack trace. Blindly you can call it. That is the reason they are given that method in throwable class. So now all what you learned in core Java will heavily pay off. You'll start understanding why they are done like that, why they are done like that. Okay, today we'll see more things now. So yes, till now I have not given any documents for what? JDBC. Let's see what is JDBC actually. So generally people question you, what is JDBC in interview? What will you tell? JDBC is Java Database Connectivity. Something full form you will tell. Full form everybody knows. So to question you means to ask you full form is not asking that question to you. So from now I start cracking all the interview questions to you. Follow one by one. What is JDBC? The first statement or word what we should use is persistent technology. Understood? JDBC is a persistent technology. So these words you have to use. So on these words is what you can break or crack the interview. Not telling full form. Understood? Generally they'll ask what is Serlet, what is JSP. You end up telling full form of it. When you tell full form, nobody will give you the job. Understood? You have to talk technically. What are they? What is Hibernate? Okay, like that they'll ask. So you have to at least tell the minimum basics. Understood? See, like this, there are many persistent technology, not JDBC. Hibernate is on persistent technology. JDBC is on persistent technology. JPA is on more advanced technology today. JPA, so many persistent technologies are there. JDBC is one. The first one what we are seeing. Hibernate is one. Next one. These are all technologies. IBATIS is there. Kudos is there. So many are there, man. It is endless. Now you might ask, do I have to learn everything? No, not at all required. Understood? I'll give you easy solutions. So using all of them, you can do what? Persistent operations. Inserting, updating, deleting you can do. There are plenty. The next one, the most powerful one today, JPA. Many people don't know also. But JPA full form is Java Persistence API. But full form everybody will be knowing shortly. Understood? Today or tomorrow you'll come to know. But actually it is a persistent technology. Now I'm using a new word today. Till now I never used that word. What? Technology. Yes. According to you, what is technology? You are an engineer now. Yes or no? So how do you define technology? How does an engineer define technology? Collection of library. See, technology is related to all branches of engineering. So in mechanical branch you have libraries. No. So technology actually what? Simple words. It is ready-made solution. Technology, basic meaning of technology is ready-made solution. Understood? So JDBC is a technology means it is ready-made solution for us. Hibernate is a technology means ready-made solution for us. So technologies means, I'm bringing new words now. More phrases I'll bring up. Technology means ready-made solution. Means we don't code anything now. We start using existing things. So if you want to do persistent operation, there are so many technologies. Now which one will you use? Question is that now. Understood? Which one will you use? So I can use JDBC. Yes, this is a specification we say. So slowly I'll bring some words. Spec, specification. And this library, okay, we'll see. So these are called as proprietary specifications. Proprietary means it is given to you by third party people. See, JDBC is a specification given by Sun. Understood? But these are specifications given by third party people. Like Hibernate is given to you by Red Hat people. Understood? Top Link is given to you by Oracle people. Like that, one company will give you one which one? Technology. End of the day, again they are what you know. In Java we say library. Sorry, in Java means technology. See, technology generally means ready-made solution from the engineering point of view. But in Java, if you see specifically, it is nothing but library. In Java, if you see specifically, it is library. So what is a library now? It is containing code now. It is containing code. And finally, what is that? Dot class files only, end of the day. So if you want to use Hibernate now, you have to add that jar. Means you have to use that library. If you want to use JPA, you have to add that jar. Like that, one by one you start understanding. So here what happens is, sometimes the libraries will be given to you by some people, sometimes it will be given to you by third party people, and gradually you will understand this. So this is the whole subject of Java. Generally everybody will think what all the solutions are there in rt.jar. It's not like that. When you start developing a project, you'll start using plenty of jars. Understood? So this is one simple introduction what I'm giving to you. Slowly you'll understand this. Again, JPA, latest is a specification. So this is the current powerful technology in the market. Understood? So when it is so powerful and advanced, it is also advanced. Now when it is so powerful and advanced, okay, why am I not directly teaching you this? Yes or no? Yes. Fact is, this is a very advanced technology, and the basics of JPA comes from where, you know? JDBC. If you know JDBC, then you'll understand JPA. It's like that. Understood? So when you start developing a project, the top level architect will actually decide what? Whether to use JDBC, whether to use Hibernate, whether to use IBATIS. He is the person who decides. Understood? And we developers just follow what technology. In the high level design, there will be something in the software development life cycle. In the high level design, okay, the technologies will be decided, and that is when we developers will learn that technology. Learn that technology means what? We learn that API. We are learning that API now. We'll start coding now. Understood? So this is how it stands. So see, this is highly mandatory. Hibernate is also highly mandatory. JP is also highly mandatory. All the three I'll be covering. Understood? So see, if you want to learn Hibernate, practice JDBC first. Many people think what, directly learn Hibernate. It is not possible. Many people again think what, I want to learn JPA. Not possible. So the route is like this. See, it's like this. If you want to learn JPA, see, follow this properly. You should know database first. Then you should know collections. Then you should know JDBC. This is equivalent to, one more is there, if you know one more, something called as annotations. Then you will understand Hibernate. This is the root, remember. Understood? And if you know all this, then, see, this is one equation. One more equation is there. All this plus Hibernate is equal to JP. Understood? The many people fail to learn why Hibernate, direct entry, no shortcut here. You have to go like this. And one more thing, for going to interview as fresher, JDBC is mandatory. But as you enter company, in very few companies you'll be seeing JDBC getting used. I'm only telling you openly. But in spite of that, you have to learn JDBC because it's very important from interview point of view also, and as well as these advanced technologies point of view also. These advanced technologies are cutting edge technologies. These are which one? Hibernate, JP and all are called as cutting edge technology. I'll explain what is cutting edge technology also. Okay, these are cutting edge technologies. Underneath they use what? JDBC. Means, fact is simple. In JDBC I'll write 4 lines of code. In Hibernate what you will do now? 1 line of code. You will call 1 line, internally it will call JDBC's 4 lines. That's how it works. Understood? So if you know the basic concept of what is persistent operation. Persistent operation means how to insert, update, delete using JDBC. Now doing that in Hibernate or top link and all or whatever it is, it becomes very easy. You can migrate it. So this is how it stands. So work hard on JDBC. That is my advice for you. You will, how much you put effort here, that much you will reap later. Understood? How strong you put your foundation, that better it will be for your advanced days. Understood? Now what do you mean by cutting edge technology? Very simple, man. Cutting edge means something like this, man. You are an engineer, you should know this diagram. This is called as V tool. You know that now? It is there in mechanical. Okay. In V tool, what happens? Finally what will be performing is this tip. It is very powerful. It can do everything. It can do grinding. It can even put threads, drilling, anything it can do. Understood? But the entire strength of this tip comes from what? Its back. So that's what we say cutting edge. The edge is cutting. Okay. Same way here what happens? Here underneath, these are all there. Hibernate becomes what? Cutting edge. Means you call one method, underneath it will be using some other technology. It will be using JDBC. Again, all this will form what? JPA. Cutting edge technology. You call one method here you are calling 5 lines. Here you will call 2 lines. Here you will call 1 line, like that. So powerful libraries are there. You can't believe in Java. So powerful libraries are there that you'll feel so, easy to code later. Understood? It's only patience here. How patiently you move forward, that easier coding in Java becomes. Because the fact is most of you want to code, but you don't know what to code. That is your major problem. You say, as soon as you come out of college now, you say, I want to write logic. I want to write that logic, this logic, this logic, that logic, fine. But if I ask you finally what logic, I don't know, sir, some logic I want to write. Understood? So these are your problems, sir. But actually logics, no, they are related to application. That you should understand. Simply you cannot write any logic of your own. Generally according to your logic means ascending order, descending order, adding 2 numbers, multiplying 2 numbers. These are not logics, sir. Company doesn't pay you money for what? Writing these logics. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, they know how to do it. Understood? So they are hiring you not for writing those kind of logics. They are hiring you for writing these kind of logics. And Java says even if you want to write those kind of logics, we have library. And now I'll start showing the power of it. Just follow 2-3 days. Now you'll start understanding the power of Java. You're seeing the power of it. I'm not saying no. Okay. But now it becomes more and more powerful. Yes, so some of the documents you'll see now. Yeah. So JDBC is I told you there are many persistent technologies. You can use any. But first we are starting with JDBC. Fine. So JDBC API provides classes and interface. Understood? What does it provide? Classes and interface to access data stored in any relational databases like Oracle, Sybase, any relational database you tell. It will provide you the support. Understood? So next, it is I know I'm speaking only JDBC. I'm not talking about other technologies. I'll only concentrate on what? JDBC. Leave the others. Fine. Next, it is a standard released by Sun as a part of Java Standard Edition to interact with any relational database. So there are 3 platforms released by Java: JSC, JEE, JME. Understood? There are 3 platforms. In fact, earlier it was J2SC, J2EE, J2ME. Still many people don't know that. It has been renamed to JSC, JEE, JME. I will tell you very clearly, still we are in JSC only. Understood? JEE is yet to start. JEE actually starts when we start talking servlets. Servlet, JSP and all will fall under this category of JEE. Understood? What is JSC? JSC means your rt.jar main, whatever libraries, whatever code is given in your rt.jar, no, that is called as Java Standard Edition. Means if you, JSC is a platform actually we say. JSC is a platform. Okay. And this platform is actually helping the developer to write standalone applications. It's on rich platform. Means it will give full-fledged support or libraries to write what? Standalone applications. Understood? JEE is what? It is a rich platform to write web-based applications and distributed applications. You'll be seeing it. More libraries are there. So they classify it. This library belongs to JSC. This library belongs to JEE. Like Servlet, JSP and all, they fall under what? EJB. They fall under JEE specification. Your Swing, example I'm telling, in JSA, Swing, Applet, these all come under JSC. In JEE, Servlet, JSP and all that. JME lives, some other it is. Understood? So in fact, see, if you know JSC, the same libraries sometimes will be used in what? JEE also as well as JME also. So knowledge of JSC is highly mandatory to enter what? JEE and JME. Many people think JME is a platform for developing micro device applications. If you want some idea about it, micro device means your mobile phone applications and all that. Understood? So it means micro device. They are small devices where the memory is less, hard disk space is less. So Java gives you support for what? One language is giving you support for what? Development of any type of application. Standalone, web-based, distributed or micro device application. Okay. So J2SC has been renamed as JSC and it is a platform for developing standalone application. And in JSC you have got Swing and Applet. You can find these libraries in rt.jar only. So whatever you want to develop a standalone application, it is there in rt.jar. You don't have to worry about it. But if at all you want to develop Servlet and JSP, you have to use some extra things which you'll be learning when I teach you Servlet and JSP. But that is a platform for developing web-based applications or distributed applications. And JME is a platform for developing micro device applications. In micro device, one of the device we say is mobile. Understood? One of the micro device, example for micro devices, mobile. There are so many other micro devices like remote and all that. Leave it. Understood? So the other devices are there, but this is a platform for that thing. So even if you want to do mobile programming now, you have to learn what? JSC. Many people think I want to do mobile application, Android development, that and all. Fine. But basic is what is required? JSC is required. You cannot rule it out. From there we start and end up there. So this is highly mandatory. That is why I covered in depth of Java for you in the previous classes. It is so vital that it is required in all the 3 platforms. Whatever I covered in JSC. Fine. Next. So anyway, this is how it stands. We'll be slowly moving into JEE. So you should understand the organization of Java. What is JSC? What is JEE? Because finally it will help you to prepare rich resume The reason today also why you are not getting one single interview call is simple. You don't know how to build your resume. Like knowledge of JSC, knowledge of JEE, there is one clever knack of building it. Understood? So that clearly reflects how much you have knowledge in the subject. The way you prepare your resume actually reflects how much knowledge you have in your resume. Generally what you say? In your resume, what do you mention? Course completed, what you know, core Java, merge Java, mid Java, database, over. That is not what you have to mention. Understood? Means you will mention three languages, C, C++, Java. One language is only so in-depth here. Understood? But you will tell what? C, C++, VB, some foreign language also will tell, Fortran, COBOL. One language one person can learn, man. One language. Understood? Means see, not language will know many, like Hindi, English, Tamil, many things will know. Professionalism will be in one language. Understood? So similarly you know many, C, C++, everything you know, but professionalism you should get in one language. And don't try to be fooled by institutes who will say, we'll train you 3-4 languages in 3 months. Understood? It is complete foolishness what they'll tell. We'll train you 3-4 languages. If you don't get in C language, you'll get in C++. If you don't get in C++, you'll get in Java. What a joke. Learning one language only we are struggling. Understood? So don't be fooled by people like that. Getting it now? So fine, some advices I'm giving you, because before you move on to that rich platform, you should have full enthusiasm and confidence and move into what? These things. Understood? Your confidence there should be so high that coding here becomes an enjoyment. Understood? Once you start seeing output now, you start enjoying it. That's why you keep your spirits high and start coding. Getting it now? All this why I'm telling is for you to inspire coding. Understood? So you should code. And you understood what is JSC, and this topic will come back in depth again. I'm not saying it is over. I'll be classifying all these things very clearly. What is JSC, what is JEE, in depth. Very clearly I'll start setting the platform and you'll understand. So anyway, JDBC is part of what? Java Standard Edition. Remember this. It's part of Java Standard Edition, JSC, and it is there in rt.jar only. Understood? The packages, where are they? Java.sql package. These classes and interface are there in rt.jar only. Fine. Next, see all the classes related to JDBC. That's the next point I put. All the classes related to JDBC are kept in JDBC API. Sorry, Java.sql package, JavaX.sql package. Yes. Now before to Java, there are some popular programming languages like C, C++. Now see the story. You like now see this. I'm not degrading C here. What I'm trying to say is all languages have their own importance, and every language has its own purpose of coding. You cannot use this language to code that language to code this. C has got its own style of coding, Java has got its own style of coding. But if you try to do what C can do in Java and what Java can do in C, you'll end up facing a lot of problems. Understood? So C is good in embedding segment, all that good. But if you try to use C for the development of applications, there are a lot of complicated problems. Let me discuss few of the problems. There are plenty, but I am just discussing the problems of C related with what? Database connectivity. I'm just discussing the problems of C related with database connectivity. Understood? So we'll see if you use C language what happens to get the connection, and if you use Java to get the connection, what happens. See the problems now. See, before to Java there are some popular programming languages like C, C++. These languages also provide the facility to interact with database. They are not saying no, they'll provide. But see the problem. When we write a C, C++ program, to interact with the database, okay, we need to write the low level code to establish the connection. You have to write full code to what? Establish the connection between our program and the database server. You have to send the queries from our program to what? Database server. Understood? You have to send the queries. And also you have to receive the results from database server, etc. There are many things you have to do. And also we have to install what? The database directly, libraries directly into our program. Like this, there are many complications. So this is just an idea I'm giving you of what is the problem in C++, C, C++. Getting it now? I'm trying to make it in a single document. See this? Are you clear this? These are the problems. Okay, now, if I want to change my database tomorrow, what do you have to do? See, here I told in the previous diagram, all low level implementation should be written in the program, and you have to use DB libraries, and then only it will connect. Means you will send your query, it will be accepted by the database. In the database there is something called as SQL engine. What will that SQL engine do? It will accept your query, compiles it, executes it, and then it will give back the response. Means if you are doing select, delete and all, the results will be returned. So this is how you code in C. Are you clear this? Okay. Now if I want to change the database now, see, these are the problems. You have to change the low level implementation to change database. Fully you have to change. Understood? So then you have to change the DB libraries. Everything will work, but you have got too much of work to do now. So what is the problem now? Your maintenance increases. Your application is tightly coupled with the database. Your application flexibility reduces. And same code you have tried, go on writing for what? Every time you want database connection, you have to go on writing again and again. These are all problems. So that's I'm listing now. See the problems. Problems with C++ mechanism. I have underlined the points. Clearly note. All the low level implementation should be written in the program. Yes or no? In C++. Database libraries will be used directly in the program. If you want to migrate the database from one to another, a lot of code has to be changed to interact with what? The new database, and hence maintenance increases. There will be tight coupling, we say tight coupling, understood, between the application and the database, and application flexibility reduces. Then next, developer has to write the complicated code to establish the connection between two different machines. Sometimes what will happen, database will be in one computer, application will be another computer. So you have to write that code. Means program is in one computer and database is in another computer. Who has to write the code? You have to write. These are all the problems you face. And similar code you need to write many times, which gives you code duplication problems. So what are the problems with C++ now? Low level implementation has to be done by you. Maintenance increases. Application flexibility reduces. Complicated code you have to write. And also code duplication problem. Okay. So these are the various problems in what? C++. Are you getting it now? These are the various problems. Just increase the font, nothing else. Are you clear with this? Then next, what is the Java solution to this problem? Means how does Java overcome the problem faced by other languages? How does Java overcome the problem faced by other languages? This is an in-depth subject. It will minimum take you 2-3 classes for understanding this. But I start teaching you from today, so that within 3 days you will get the concrete hold on how Java starts giving you the solution for all this. You already seen the output. Now you can start understanding, because before getting output, if I had given you all this introduction, you wouldn't have understood. But since you have got the output now, gradually you start understanding. See, anyway, see, your focus should be only in getting output. I'm again clearly telling you. But behind the scene how it works, I'll be explaining you. That is not our botheration, because Java works always on what? Abstraction. We don't care how we get the output. In Java we only want what? Output. So Java is a language which gives you highest level of abstraction. So how it is providing abstraction to us, we'll be seeing it. Or what is abstraction, how does Java provide abstraction in this scenario, all that I'll be teaching you. Understood? But as a developer, you should only think from one point of view now. What? How to get output. That is all your duties. Understood? Means how to get connection, how to write the query, how to get the results, all that I'll be covering. It's not an issue for you now. Clear? So fine. So now see, how does Java solution to work with database? Yes, I'll use an JDBC API now. I'm going to use an API. Means one standard API now. You interact with any database. You want Oracle, you want MySQL, you want DB2, Sybase, you name the database, but it should be relational. You have one standard API to interact with any database. Understood? Only what you will be using is driver. Just change the driver, you will get the database connection. Today I will show you. Okay, I have got 2 programs. Yes, we have coded 2 programs. From Oracle database, I will migrate to MySQL. See how fraction of a second it will migrate now. Understood? So I will be showing you. So migration of database is very easy in Java because of this API, standard API now. Which API? Which is the standard API now in Java? JDBC API. So it's a standard API released by Sun. You got the point now? You wrote first pointer. It is a standard API released by Sun to interact with any database. Understood? So coding only gives you more confidence here. Okay. See this. To avoid all the above mentioned problems, I mentioned about the problems which are C++ problems. Sun has provided a portable API called JDBC API to interact with database. JDBC API released by Sun contains what? Interfaces. So now start getting the idea. We have used interfaces, connection, statement, result set. So many interfaces we have used. And always you know, interface contain what? Abstract methods. Somebody has to implement it. Neither did I implement nor did you implement. Yes or no? Then how is the things that code is working here? Always, what is the definition of an interface? You know very well what is an interface, yes or no? Yes, sir. Interface always contains what? Abstract methods. No, there is no implementation only. Yes or no? Yes, now the story of interface starts. Till now you have worked with powerfully with what? Classes, subclasses, abstract classes, all those data types you have worked. But this is the first time you will be coming across interfaces which will be used in a very big way. Very, very, very big way. Understood? So Sun will release interfaces to what? All the database vendors. Means it's on standard. Now whichever database wants to give support to Java will implement it. Whoever wants to, it's on standard. I'll be explaining this standard very shortly. Understood? So whoever wants to give support to, whichever database vendor wants to give support for interacting with Java, will implement it and supply it to us with their database. Like I was using oracle.jar, mysql connector.jar. So that is why I first asked you to get the output. So these jar files are containing what? Dot class files. These dot class files are nothing but implementation of what? Those interfaces. Clearly I'll show you, pin to pin I'll show you. And nobody will go in depth into JDBC to this level. Understood? So what has happened here, what Sun is doing, how powerful they are in the market. Understood? So these people set standards for what? All the database vendors. So if the database vendor doesn't implement this interface, what will happen? We will not use their database. We will tell what? That database is not compatible with Java. What powerful it is, see how they dominate the programming world. Understood? So powerful they are in the programming world, it is unbeatable. So they set standards like this in the market. Understood? So what standards they set, it has to be implemented. Otherwise, we are not going to use the database. And remember, interfaces I had introduced one word for you. Interfaces are used for what? Setting standards and specifications. Now that point will open up. Broadly it will open up and you start understanding what do you mean by standards and specification. So these are the points what you have to tell in interview. What is the difference between interface, abstract class? All these points will come now. You have to give examples, live examples. Don't tell interface animal, interface dog. They are not the answers. What is an interface? You have to take. There are interfaces like connection statement, all that you have to take and answer. So gradually I'll start pitching now. See this. To avoid all, anyway, this is just introduction I told you. Minimum you require what? 3 to 4 classes to understand the subject. To understand, understood, how they have given us the library. Understood. So this technology has taken years to invent. Years. Based on the problems of all the previous languages, Java has given you a final solution. So it doesn't mean that you understand it in 2 hours of my video class and all that. Understood? It really takes at least 3-4 classes for you to get in depth into it, explore it and then understand it. Only understand again and use, but don't bother about coding all these things here. This is the flexibility you get here. Getting it? So to avoid all the, we completed that point. These interfaces are implemented by here. The point. So first point I'll repeat. To avoid all the above mentioned problems, Sun has provided portable API called JDBC API. Fine. Next point, see this. These interfaces are implemented by the database vendors and supplied with what? Database distribution. Where did I get what JDBC 14.jar in Oracle? No. Same way you will find MySQL connector.jar given by MySQL. DB2 will give their jar. So they are implementing and supplying it. Done? Fine. Yes. So when a Java developer is writing a Java program to interact with the database, simply they have to use API provided in JDBC by ignoring the implementation done by DB vendors. You don't bother what they have implemented. I'll show you, but don't bother. Understood? Next, the JDBC API makes your program portable and flexible for any database interaction. As a Java developer, you need to use JDBC API in your program to interact with database and subclass implementation. Means they will be implementing the interface now. That subclass implementation done by DB vendors will be used at runtime. Their objects will be created at runtime. Now when database is migrated, there will be no much maintenance cost. I'll show you how Java supports and overcomes all these problems faced by other languages. Understood? Now in Java, developer does not have to implement any low level code to interact with database. This code is moved to a middle component called driver. Okay, now I'll be explaining what is driver, which sits between your program and database and allows you to interact with the database. Developer has to just load or use the driver supplied by the database vendor. The driver class also is given to you. So see here, this is your API, use it, it will start interacting. Understood? So what is a driver now? Yes, I'm coming to the point. A JDBC driver enables a Java application to interact with database. Driver is a Java class which is implemented and provided by database vendor. What is driver means? It's a Java class given to you by what? Database vendor. So we load it, loading the driver. Yes. So next, the driver contains static block. It is containing static block. Let's see what happens. Understood? So when the driver is containing static block, as soon as the class is loaded, what happens? Static block executes. Core Java is very essential here now. So it will contain, I'll show you what is the code written in static block. And see what code is needed to connect between your, see this is your Java program now and this is your database. You'll write class.forName and load that driver class. In that class I'll extract and show you now, don't worry. Okay, what is there on static code is there. So what happens now, as soon as the class is loaded, static code comes into existence now, executes now. So that is what is the low level code. Directly it will connect to what now? Database. You don't worry. Directly it will get connected. Means you have to provide, for that code you have to supply some values. What is that? Port number, IP address, username, password. If you give that much, the driver class you will use that value and it will get connected. Only supply it. So which database you want, select the driver, and for that driver class what will you do? Supply the required values. That's it. So that's what you are doing. See this code? Class.forName. So what is that? Oracle dot JDBC dot driver dot Oracle driver. So as soon as this class is loaded, there is some static code in this class. It will execute. But again it requires some values to get connected. So that's the next value I am giving. What is the next value I am giving? Driver manager dot get connection. URL, you know the value? What is that? Localhost, IP address, all that, port number, all that will give. Instance name, schema name, password, that's it. So that static code means that static block will get executed, but while executing it will use all these three values. Which value? URL, UID, PWD. That's it, you got the connection. What beauty, man. Unimaginable. Understood? Unimaginable. Just 2 lines and you get the code, which one? Database connected in Java program. Which language will give you this support, tutor? You believe it or not, in Java 7, the next version, 1 line will get database connection. More simplified. Understood? But hardly 1 line will reduce. So that is the power in Java. So in C language, can you do this? Imagine what flexibility. So many people think to learn Java all that is required. I'm telling no, just Java requires what? Some common sense, which method to call and all that. Okay, fine. Next, so it's a driver. This is introduction still. I'll be going in depth and explaining you all this, how it happens, all this happens. I'll be explaining you all this. You don't worry about that also. It's just simple introduction I'm giving to you. What is JDBC? Understood? You're all learning JDBC. College also you learnt. Yes or no? So you learnt everything in college. You're very intelligent also. You might have got 80-90% marks also. But understand what is JDBC now. Yes. So driver is a Java class which is implemented and provided by the database vendor. The driver contains static block. The driver is having the complete low level implementation. Are you getting it now? To interact with database and is supplied by the database vendor. The developer has to use JDBC API and just load the driver. You have to use the API and load the driver. That's it. When you want to interact with any database, you need to select the driver class. Understood? So that's why first I got you the output. Next, now there are 4 types of drivers. I'll do one thing. Before I proceed, I'll just show you how to change from one database to another database in Java. Okay. So just see this. We have got I coded 4 projects. The 5th project is today's project. I have coded 4. Okay. The first project I had connected to what? You know this program I coded and showed you. I had connected to what? Oracle. This same program I will connect to now MySQL. Understood? So see what I'll do. Can you guess what I'll do? Now you should get the idea how do you migrate databases. See, I'll copy this project, means because I need that project later. Let's not disturb it. I'll create one more copy. Control C you do, and I'll paste. So it'll ask you. Yeah, I'll say test project. Some name I'll give. Test project, fine. It is created now. Just rename the project. So it's same. Almost all everything is same. Yeah. See, I'm executing the program now. Yeah, I'm getting the output, and we are actually connected to which one now? Oracle. You know how to connect to Oracle now? Use the So in Oracle, if you see, there's a table by name EMP. This is UI friendly, that's it. And you have got this data. These many values are there. How many records are there? These many records are there. Let's see in MySQL, how many, or I'll add, okay, when you run them, when you run the program, all these values are getting displayed there. Understood? So what I'll do is, now I'll open MySQL for you. In MySQL also what is happening? But you should have a same table. Understood? So I'll use Ravi MySQL. So changed. So I'll say show. See here it is not, means you have user friendly way to do it, but I am using this editor. You can use SQL Yog if you want to. There's one table. So I'll say select star from EMP. So these many values are there. Clear? Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll remove some values in this one. It will be easy for me here. 104. Okay, I'll remove some records. See, it's easy to work with UI like this. I'm removing some records. Otherwise you have to sit and write query. Understood how to use Apex now? Understood. It will be very helpful now. One second. Yeah, there are 3 records, 102, 101 and 103. Let me run the program again. How many records are there in Oracle? Say 3 records are there. But in MySQL, how many records are there? Plenty are there. Yes? Now see how I'll migrate. All I'll do is, can you guess what I'll do? You should have the ability now, because same table is there in what? Same table, you should have same table, same column. Understood? Everything should be same, otherwise how it will execute? Yes or no? So just copy what? Or you can, okay, you only tell now. Just change com dot mysql dot driver dot JDBC dot driver. And next is, I have to change this, JDBC colon MySQL colon / localhost / Ravi MySQL here it is root, password is cluster. That's it. But one error you'll get, which is that class not found. You should be able to understand now, man. Java class not found exception. Why? Yes, see, it will give you line number and all. Go and debug 14. Anyway, that you leave now. But I'm not finding this class 14. Means this line is giving the error. I have to add the jar file. That's all. So what I'll do in this project, there is one reference library is there. JDBC. That is of no use now. Yes or no? Because I don't want any class from that. So remove that library. So you should know how to remove and when to add. Simply don't add all jars. Understood? So now you remove it. How do you remove? Right, test project I'm working on test project. Right click, properties, build path, JDBC, remove. Remove it. That's not required in the project. Simply don't keep unwanted jars in your project. Next, add external jars. My jars, MySQL jar, MySQL connector. That's it. You know we have kept all these jars now in C drive. Select it. Open, open, finished. See the output. Great now. So simple. This is Java's flexibility. To understand little it will take time. See, there are two options for you. One, you work day and night and write the code. Or other one is work day and night, learn the code and start using. Which one you want to do? Like C, C++, day and night you have to code. Not once, every time. Understood? In Java, day and night we spend once. But after that, full sleep aram se. Because we don't code only. We start just changing the arguments like this. Understood? So literally you have to work initially. These are values in what now? MySQL now. In Oracle I had only 3 rows. But these are the values from MySQL. Are you getting it clear now? See, this is in MySQL. So many records are there. So that is the flexibility Java gives you. And how all is happening, everything remains same here. Understood? Because this is the standard interfaces implemented by both vendors. How they are implementing, that also I'll explain. I'm not saying I'll not do it. In-depth knowledge I'll give you. Nothing to worry. But our botheration should be what as a developer? Get output. Your botheration should be only this much. But I'm just going on to explain you only to get a concrete hold onto the subject. Why Java is giving interface, why your Java is giving class, means how a class data type is used in programming, how a subclass is used in programming. So now you can start understanding all these data types in a rich manner. Okay, fine. Next. So that's how you can change it. Are you clear? You just have to change the driver class. So that's the same diagram which I taught you now. JDBC API, whichever driver you want to use, it will get connected. Finished. Hardly any change. Understood? Fine. Next, types of JDBC drivers. Yeah? See, in fact, there are 4 types of drivers. I have shown you one type of driver. Okay. So means there are 4 types of drivers. This is a very important interview question. How many types of drivers are there in JDBC? These are all interview questions. So many things we are coming up today. Okay. Type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4. They are known in short like that. Or in technical world, they are known as, see, simple you can tell like this. But technically, type 1 driver is also known as JDBC ODBC bridge driver. Type 2 is known as part Java part native driver. Type 3 is known as intermediate database access server driver. Type 4 is known as pure Java driver. These 3 drivers generally we don't use. So do not worry about that. But from an interview point of view, understand there are 4 drivers. So the 4th one is very important. So that is what I am directly teaching you. Because in all companies they use type 4 drivers only, pure Java drivers only. Why they use, I will tell that also. So that's what you are studying. Are you clear this? So these are types of drivers. 4th driver means even in the interview if they question which type of a driver you are using, type 4 driver or pure Java driver. They'll ask you, see you might be definitely asked in interviews. Okay, which type of a driver you are using? I was using type 4 driver. Clear? Now, see that we are studying type 4 driver now. The type 4, you know what a driver is now, right? If you want the driver information, I have given it here on top. What is driver? Understood? Now, we are studying the types of drivers. Yeah. So the type 4 driver is written completely in Java. It is a pure Java driver. Like other 3 drivers are there, no? They are not pure Java drivers. Understood? They are not pure Java drivers. But this is a pure Java driver. And hence is platform independent. Means you can use this driver class in any operating system of the world. I got the connection in which one? Windows operating system now. Do one thing now. You use Linux. Same code. But there you install database. There you install database. Understood? Run the code, it will definitely execute. Because it is pure Java code. Means, see here, now I will show you. What is that? jar file. Yes, we have kept it in my computer, C drive, my jars, MySQL jar. Okay, so I'll extract this also. I'm pasting. See, I just got on folder here called as lab purpose. Means for lab purpose I do it here. I paste it here. I'll extract that jar for you. Let's see what is there. You can extract it. Check what is there. I extracted that. 1 second. One second. Yeah, these are the two jars I had extracted earlier, RT.jar and src.zip. 1 second, I'll do it again. Yeah. So here this is it. Understood? So once you extract, see this. Com is there. You can extract it here also, man. In Eclipse also you can extract. I show in always. MySQL. Yes or no? MySQL also you can extract like this. So these are the, but here these are all the dot class files. Same I am trying to do, but with WinZip. Here I am extracting with Eclipse. There I am doing with WinZip or 7zip, anything you can use. Fine. Now other jar is there, that also I will extract. MySQL jar, Oracle also I will extract. Don't extract it there only, do it in on some other folder. Don't disturb the C drive jar folder. You have a very bad habit. Maintain organized things. Here only let me extract. Don't do all that because it's related to our projects later. Copy it to some third place and do all this R&D if you want to do. Understood? So then here paste. Yeah, this is also extracted. See this in OJDBC 14.jar. Oracle dot JDBC dot driver dot what? Oracle driver. So what is it? It's a dot class file. They're pure Java. Means they have been coded in Java language and compiled. So this code can run in any operating system of the world now. So that's why they are called pure Java drivers. Done? So see, I'll extract, means I'll decompile. You want to decompile? Decompile. Right click, use a decompiler. Understood? I am using Kava.j decompiler. Right click, open with Kava.j. See, this is the code. Pure Java it is written. Can you understand this code? No. This is what code you have tried to connect to database. See there. You want to count number of lines, huh? Just I'll copy everything and put it in one look. See the number of lines they have coded, man. I'm scrolling actually. So in C++, you understood what is the problem now? This much of code you have tried. Understood? What did you do? 2 lines of code you should be able to write now. As compared to what? Coding like this every day. Calling 2 methods, class.fowname, loading this driver class, getting the connection. Now is Java becoming easy? It has to become easy. Otherwise you go to C++ because you are very intelligent. You are not fit for Java then. Understood? Then you will understand whether C is easy or Java is easy. Yeah? So this is about driver class. Then next, in Oracle I showed you. Then next, same way, who is implementing? MySQL. com.mysql.jdbc.driver class. So open with Kava.j. Understood? See, this is their code. They are writing it something in static block. Driver manager.register, something they are writing. Means again, this code is there in some other place. Don't worry, but this is how they write the code. Understood? So as soon as this class is loaded, static block gets executed. Static block is containing what code now? You understood why they use static blocks now? As soon as the class is loaded, if you want to execute something now, they start using static block. Initially in core Java, you learn it as static block hello world. They will not use static block like that. Static block in real world programming will be used like this. Generally in interview if they ask, do you know static block? Yes, I know. How will you use? I will put on SOP hello world. They are not the answers. Understood? These are your interview questions. That is why you don't clear. I am just justifying why you attend interviews and don't clear interviews. You should tell practically. Static block, yes, it gets executed as soon as the class is loaded into the JVM. One of the practical example of that is about the driver classes of database. As soon as these classes are loaded, they get executed. See, according to you, what you know, now how you are talking, there's a huge difference. Understood? So this is how you have to talk in interview. Communication. Communication means not hi-fi English. What you tell it in your own normal English only. But it should be understandable. Communication means making opposite person understand. That is all. You people think communication means what now? Oxford English, Britain English you'll think. That is wrong. Only if you know good English I'll get job. Wrong. Just what you know, present it properly. So simple it is. You make interviews complicated. Understanding now? There's nothing complicated in this subject here. Only, that's why I'm giving you so much in-depth knowledge. Why I'm giving so much in-depth knowledge is, actual required things are only 2. So that is why I'll teach 100. When I teach 100, you will understand how much? 10, not 50 also. Don't think you'll understand 50. Out of 10, okay, you require only 2 and you are able to deliver only 2. But the same 2 things if I teach you, it will become minus 100 now. Means nothing you'll understand. So that is why I go in depth and teach like this. Understood? 100 things if I teach, 10 things you'll understand, 2 things is actually what is required for final coding or interview or whatever purpose. Means our real life. Getting this one now? So yes, so these are all things you understand now. So database migration, okay, this we covered. Yes sir. So understood what is pure Java driver now? Yes, more things now. So so the type 4 drivers communicate with the vendor's database through socket connection. Means from Java it will directly connect to the database socket. Socket means a port. See, socket in computer terminology means it is on point of contact, okay, which is established between 2 entities. There will be 2 entities, okay. So from one entity means body, okay, but here we talk technically, that's it. They are terminologies. So both will have one point of contact, and that point of contact is called as socket. From this point means from your application to database, it will be communicated through sockets. That's it. Understood? Just you think it's a point of communication. Socket in simple words means point of communication. That's it. Understood? So now see, the type 4 drivers communicate with database, vendor database through socket connection. There is no translation. There is no translation like from Java it will not get converted, because in type 1, type 2, type 3 and all, no. There are so many conversions, compilations will happen. Understood? But here all that will not happen, and performance is too good here. Too good in what? Type 4 driver, because you are directly connecting to database. Direct. Okay. So there is no translation or middleware layer required. It thus provides increased or best performance. So next, the type 4 driver converts JDBC calls into vendor specific database protocol. Means all databases have their own protocol. Protocol means some rules for communicating. Some rules. Protocol means rules. Again, terminology it is. Understood? Simple word protocol means rules. Understood? So the type 4 calls it into, means it will convert it directly into their rules and or protocol, and so that client applications can communicate directly with the database server. Then next, it's the most extensively and widely used driver in the development of applications. That is why I am teaching you this driver. Both for MySQL also I am teaching you type 4 driver. For Oracle also I am teaching you type 4 driver only. Similarly, you will have type 4 drivers for all the databases. So just I am showing you 2 so that you get the idea of how programming is done here. I could have completed with only Oracle or which one? MySQL, like how other institutes do, but you will never get the idea how things are working. Understood? So for this reason I am going with 2 databases. Might be we might take 1 day extra or 2 days extra, but the amount of knowledge what you gain is intense. So put effort. Understood? So type of architecture. See, this is the architecture in type 4. What do you do? You use the JDBC API in the Java program, and you use the driver class. That's it. It will start interacting. Don't bother. Directly it will start connecting to database. Are you clear with this? And do not bother about type 1, type 2, type 3. Okay. So leave it. So next. So for this type 4 to work, there are few settings which you have to do. All that I have listed for both the databases I have done. So now, whenever you want database connection, you don't by heart all that. I have kept it in the document. Just refer, copy, paste. That's it. You'll start getting the DB connection. This document will be given to you. So refer it. It's not that always you have to by heart. Understood? Later on also when I want to code, I'll be referring to this only and coding. How will I go on by hearting all this? Practically impossible. So don't by heart. Keep yourself calm. Understood? And Only think about what you want to do. For that there is something in the library. How do you search? Be calm like this. Understood? So next, driver class. Yes, for Oracle this is the driver class. I got here. There are 7 things what you need for type 4 driver. Or 6 things. Yeah, see this clearly. Driver class, URL, username, password, who is the vendor, software. These 6 things. If you have, you'll get the output now. So all you have to do is, which is the driver class? Now I've done A, B, A, B. Means what? A is for Oracle, B is for MySQL. So see the 2 database. For Oracle, you have to give the driver class this one. For MySQL, use this driver class. Done? Don't by heart. Next, URL. See, this is the syntax for Oracle. Oracle people say, this is our syntax. You have to give the value as JDBC : Oracle : thin. This is some protocol. Leave it. JDBC is on protocol, Oracle is on protocol, thin is on protocol. Leave that. Come to this. But still I'll explain to you later. Leave the time being. At the rate of, you have to give host name. Means where is the database running. Then you have to give port number. Then you have to give service name. Service name means instance name. These 3 information you'll find it in tnsnames.ora. I had shown you. Yes. So this is the syntax. But I've replaced it with values just for your understanding. Understood? So you have to give these 3 things. Leave it at the rate of localhost 1521 means if it is on a different computer, give that IP address. Understood? 1521 and the instance you want to connect or service name. Service name, instance name, same. Next, it's the terminology again. Understood? Next, for MySQL, this is the syntax. You might be having a question, why for Oracle we did give like this, why for this we don't give it like this? Answer is simple. MySQL people are telling, you give this many values, their driver class needs only these many values. Understood? So they write their code in their own way. So we don't bother about writing code to connect to different databases. They'll give the driver class and they'll tell, give these values to connect to our database. This is the syntax what they say. That we'll replace. See, host name, database name. Database name is in MySQL is what? Schema or username. That you have to give JDBC : MySQL / localhost, username, schema name, anything or database name. Correct? Next, username means the second argument. What you have to give? URL, UID, password. 3 values you have to give now. This is driver class. This is URL. Next is UID. Yes. For Oracle, you have to give the instance name. Sorry, you have to give the schema name. That is their methodology. See, the driver class which is loaded now, they need these values and they require it in this format. You give it. Understood? So then for MySQL you give what actually? Instance name you give. Because every database has its own methodology of entering. See, how do I enter MySQL here? You only see here. How do I enter MySQL? I'll close this. Windows, I'll go all programs, MySQL. What is the password to enter to work with MySQL? What I have to type? That is cluster is okay, but I am entering root. Root is what? Instance here. That is their methodology. After entering into instance, I have to choose my schema. Use Ravi MySQL, then I'll get into my schema. This is how you work. But in in Oracle, what we do is, see, I'll open. This is how you open. Here what we do, am I giving the instance name? No, directly I'll give what? Schema name. So one database has one methodology. Sorry, Oracle, sorry. Follow their rules. See, we are not inventing anything here. That you understand. We are only using existing thing. Understood? We can't question them. They have given us something to use, and if you want to use it, use it. And you have to use it like this. This is how you get connected. Same thing is happening here. What is the big difference? Here you are doing it through UI give and all, right? Here it is happening virtually. Here what is happening? Our Java program is getting connected to database. That's it. Okay, that's the username. Now password. For Oracle you have to give what? Schema user password. For MySQL you will give what? Instance password. Simple. Vendor. Who is giving you the driver class? Who is giving you the driver class? Vendor. Database vendor. Okay. So for both it is means vendor for driver class. I'll just complete it. Who is giving the driver class? Database vendor now. Then next, and what is the software required to run this program? Java and database. Now don't tell Eclipse is required for running. Eclipse is required for coding. You can get this output using Notepad and Edit plus editors also. Understood? So Eclipse is only facilitating to code, just telling you the differences between the softwares. Getting this idea now? So if you have these two softwares, you'll get the output. So till yesterday or till the last class, what has happened? Is it clear to you now? I told you, as the class progresses, you'll start getting clarity on the subject. Next, some more doubts you might have, again it will be clarified. I told you, it's a subject which it's a technology, understand now, which cannot be understood in 1 hour class or 2 hour class. Okay, so it requires immense information like this and guidance. Then we'll start understanding all the subject. So this is about, these are the 6 things you require to connect to database and use type 4 drivers. And the same has been used. So this document will be given to you. So whenever you want, you can refer. Do not by heart anything. Done? Or you'll find it in internet also. That also I'll show. Okay. Just type Google. You can type Oracle database connection with Java. Something like that. You type. You'll start getting. So you should know only what to copy, what to paste, where to paste. There will be a lot of code. Yeah. Right now you're coding here. Finally, you should know from internet what to copy, where to paste. You'll copy, but you'll not know where to paste. Understood? So, and what values to replace, because they'll be giving the example with their own schema, password and all that. Understood? But you have to use your corresponding username, password. Little values if you change, you'll start getting the output now. Getting it now? Yes. So this is the whole story of programming in Java. You should be relieved now that that much of coding is not happening in Java. Understood? So this is the actual process. So I showed you how to change the database also. Okay. So this is a simple introduction to what is JDBC now. Yeah. So, but still without coding we cannot complete the class. Some more things I'll teach you on coding now. Okay. So today we'll learn how to do CRUD operations. All the 4 operations I'll teach you. Which one? Inserting a record, reading a record, updating a record, deleting a record. Till now I have covered 2 things. Inserting and reading I have covered. But I have not shown you how to update and delete. Updating and deleting means from where? From Java to database. Directly in database you know how to update, directly in database you know how to delete. The master in that. But I am showing you how to do it from Java. So it's all about writing queries now. Understood? So now get the point. When I was teaching you database, I told you one thing. SQL is the standard, I told you na, standard language, which is adapted by what? All the DB vendors. Why? Are you following now? Because now if they follow standard now, we can migrate the database from Oracle to MySQL like this. Supposingly, for doing the same operation, for selecting or inserting, updating, if MySQL gives you a different query, see in Oracle I'll say select star from EMP, but MySQL gives a different query. What would have been the problem now? Query wouldn't have got executed. Yes, that is why DB people, database people follow 2 people standards. One, they follow SQL standards. So database people are having 2 standards to follow. One, they have to follow SQL standards. SQL standard means what? It's a specification. When there anybody says I'm giving on database or releasing a new database in the market, okay, he has to follow 2 standards. He has to implement, follow and implement 2 standards. One is the SQL standard. In SQL standard, what is the standard tell? The architecture. It should have an instance. In that schema should be there. In that schema, table should be there. Table should be having columns, rows. So that thing. Then SQL language it should support. So all that standards related to. I taught you all this in database. So in database, I was teaching you SQL standards. And example for SQL is Oracle, MySQL, that is what I told you. I did not teach you Oracle. Fact is we are learning Oracle, I am telling yes. But actually you would learn it like this. What? Oracle is following SQL standards. MySQL is following SQL standards. Understood? So that one standard they have to follow. Along with that they have to follow Java standard also. Yes or no? What they have to implement? JDBC API. So they have got 2 standards to follow. If both these standards are followed only, then only the database will be successful in market. Simply I'll invent on overnight one database and release it into market, nobody will use it. I have to follow what? Even if I want to invent one database today, I should follow all these SQL standards and implement one, prepare it, and as well as I should implement JDBC API and supply it as jar file. Otherwise my Java program cannot connect to my database. And Java developers are not interested to write code to connect to my not interested to write the code to connect to my database. So I have to write the implementation of JDBC API. So these people are following two standards. Even though there is so strict specification, that is why, see, when I was teaching you joins, there are two types of joins. One is non-ISO join, ISO standard join. In ISO standard join, all languages are following a standard way of writing queries. In non-ISO what happens? Every database had its own style of writing query. That is why it was rectified. Why was ISO standard joins introduced? Understood? ISO standard queries were introduced so that there is one unique. See, because end of the day the concept is same. There is no difference. I want to join two tables and retrieve the value. But why should the developer learn two things? For one database, one query, another database, another query, it's a headache for us. So remember, whatever is being given to the developer is for his benefits. They are making our life simple. So all these things take time to learn, but end of the day you win the race and it's going to be easy in the coming years for you. Understood? Why you get overloaded is because you have not been guided in your previous education properly, like in college or wherever it is. They don't teach you head and tail of this. At least if these basics were covered there, for me it is not so much of headache to teach. Only what is required I can go on pitching that. Understood? Since you come from zero level, now I have to get into this level and teach you. And you might be thinking I am teaching hi-fi things. No, literally I am not teaching hi-fi things. These are zero things which any developer should know. Unfortunately, many trainers also do not tell all these stories. Only of this, after all this introduction is given to you, then only you can become a good programmer. Getting it? So all this takes time. So these are the specifications. Even though they set the standards like this, now see what DB people will do. 98%. See, this standard they have to follow 100%. Which one? Java standard they have to follow, otherwise we can't use their database only. But SQL standard they'll follow somewhere like 98%. Why you know? If they follow 100%, what will happen? Database can be migrated, no? They don't want that to happen. They don't want to lose business. So what they'll do? Somewhere one query, like in Oracle you got sequence. Example I am telling you. In MySQL you got auto increment. Slight variation will be there. Reason is they don't want to lose the market. Example I am telling how they try to play games in the market and survive. That is politics. So they play politics and survive in the industry like this. Understood? So like this, now see, you have to decide. End of the day I want to develop an application. So in all this big world, we have to understand which database to learn, which programming language to learn. You should be having the ability to judge this. Otherwise you learn a wrong thing, then it will become EOL. EOL means what? End of life. One wrong decision. Like supposing you get into mainframe. Example I am telling. One wrong decision move, one wrong move, and coming years you are gone. Understood? So that is why I told you in the programming world today currently dominating vendor is, see there are so many vendors. I had given you this introduction in the beginning of the class. Which one? Core Java. Three big vendors: Microsoft, IBM and Sun. Sun has been taken over by Oracle. See, IBM is good in hardware segment, machines and all that. So we don't depend on them too much for the programming support. But they try to give some support like COBOL and all that. But we developers are not ready to learn that language. They'll give, because that's a huge company. They can invest, they can try to push something. They are trying to do it. But we developers should accept it now. Developers will always choose what is easy for him. Understood? So next, Microsoft is there. They are also giving you what? VB. See, for one type of application, one language they'll give. VB, VC++, C#, VB for standalone, for web-based, C#, like that. They'll give. So we are not interested in again learning what? 2-3 languages, and their language is not so powerful as Java. You'll come to know why. Last vendor is left is what? Oracle. Okay, see, Microsoft I'm not saying is bad. Microsoft is good in what? Office products now. They are dominating in operating system, office products and all that. You cannot say that is bad, this is bad. No. They have their own profile. So you have to understand now what to follow. Now Oracle. Oracle is there. Oracle company. It has got the best programming language as well as the best database. So follow one vendor. That is how you choose. Simply when you have to come out of college, you will tell I want job. That is not the way how you decide about jobs. You have means you think if I get a designation what? Software engineer and on brand like Infosys, your life is settled. In Infosys also there are so many maintenance jobs which you will realize after a long time, and you don't blame the company because on your ability company is giving you the job. Understood? If they give you something to code and ask you to code, can you code? No. And why do you expect that? So they gauge your ability and then provide you that job. You can't go and demand there. You will tell no, they are not giving me that, not giving me this, means that is your ability. Don't tell your fate also. And why was your ability designed like that? You didn't put effort in learning something. You had all the opportunities, but you were not using those opportunities in learning, and finally when you complete your degree, you will be pushed into such kind of streams. So be careful. So anyway, see, we as developer, we learn these things and we enter some big companies like Infosys, Wipro or whatever company it is, and these companies are using this language. Like Infosys is using what? Java language, database or some language and database, and they build applications. Understand the whole circle here. What is the role of us? What is the role of Infosys? What is the role of Sun, Oracle? How we get tied up? Understood? So these people give products, we learn those products, and using these products, applications are built in Infosys, Wipro, IBM, wherever you go. This is a circle. So understand what is software world first, and then you try for jobs. Just guided you. Understood? So just gave you the politics played by the IT world. Okay, still more information I'll give you. Subjects are opening up terrifically. So put effort, code. It becomes really interesting now. So we have deviated from what? JDBC to other subject. Fine. Question? Hold on. 1 hour 20 minutes. Okay. I'll continue. I'll show you how to do today CRUD operations today. Understood? How to? This is all introduction, man. You leave all that. So your focus is what now? This. That is extra knowledge what I gave you. Understood? Extra why I give you understood now. Out of 100 you will understand 50, 2 is required. So to give you confidence now, that whole subject and philosophy was essential. Yes. So CRUD operation means what, you know? Some people might have joined newly. Understood? Simple. C stands for create. R stands for read. U stands for update. D stands for delete. This is what this is the terminology. And it is always CRUD only. Don't say curd. Understood? Curd, milk, we don't say that. We always say CRUD operations. Understood? So means creating a record, reading a record, updating a record, deleting a record. Yes. Now how do you do creating a record? SQL gives you one query called as insert. How do you do reading a record? Select. And how do you update a record? By using the query update. How do you delete a record? By using a query delete. These are the SQL queries you have to use. Understood? These are the SQL queries. So let's see how you do. Means these two I have taught you. Understood? Let's see how you do update and delete. Or I'll cover again once all the things. Yes, see. For writing these queries, okay. So means if you want to do those insert, update, delete queries, Java is giving you three interfaces. One is called as statement, second one is called as prepared statement, third one is called as callable statement. So these are the three interfaces to do what? CRUD operations. Interface means there are methods. There are some methods inside this interface. We can use any of this, and it's very simple. Prepared statement is extending statement. Callable statement, I think, let's see, what is the hierarchy? I'll tell you. 1 second. Hierarchy I'll tell you in a second. refer to docs. You don't have to by heart anything. As I keep telling you, refer to docs. So I'll just connect to Google now and open and show you. See here, coding very less. Okay, when you start off JDBC, learning also very less. Understanding is more. Understood how things are getting executed here, those you have to understand very clearly. So that's why refer to docs and code. Understood. So I'll open Google, see this how. Or you can, we are giving you, yesterday I showed you the APIs now. We are giving it in what? DVD. Refer there if you're not having internet. Paste it into your computer. Always keep on copy of it with you. Refer to that. But in Google, I start using Google and show you how exactly if I start finding all these solutions. So what is that you want now? Statement now. Okay, just type statement. Okay, in Java, that's it. You get it on the first. Java's for programming solution, Java is on the top. Anytime you type anything in the internet, Java's solution will be the first solution. So here you got the documentation. Open it. Yes, here. All known sub-interfaces, callable and prepared statement. These are the two sub-interfaces of what? Statement. But I want more information about prepared statement. I know it's a sub-interface of statement. But callable statement, yes, it extends. Prepared state, sorry, one second. See, callable statement is extending prepared statement. That's the hierarchy. Or you click here, frames. Anyway, you can see, man. Java dot. You should know how to go through these docs now. SQL. Okay. Statement. Okay. Sub interfaces are these two. If I want prepared statement is also sub interface of what? See, it is extending, man. Public interface prepared statement extends statement. Okay. Next callable statement you want. Click. Now callable statement is extending what? Prepared statement. Simple hierarchy. What is there? So what methods are present in statement will be available to what? Both of them. Inheritance. Understood? So you can do CRUD operation with these three interfaces now. Okay. So today means, as I keep telling you, exploring java.sql package now. We want to do the heading you saw now, title. In JDBC, what was I covering you? The document. Exploring java.sql package. So I will go on teaching you all the interfaces and methods present in SQL package. That's all. Okay. So till now we have covered lang package, util package, regex package, text package. One more package now. That's it. Understood? So it's that simple, man, Java. So fine. So here we are going with statement today. Yeah, in statement interface, start seeing now. There are 4 methods given to you. The same 4 methods will be used everywhere for even prepared statement and callable statement. So learn in statement properly. When I teach you prepared statement and callable statement, it will become easy for you. Yeah. So these are 3 interfaces provided, but I'll be concentrating on which one now? Statement, and see these methods now. One is execute. Okay, leave this. I'll be covering these methods. So in statement interface now, I'll cover this one. And there are so many methods added. One second. The first method what I'll be covering is return type is boolean. Method name is execute. You have to send an argument of type string. That string should be a proper SQL query. It should be string. Means you should send an SQL query in the form of string, double quotes. We are doing that only, no, that's it. So then next, execute update. I'll be going with this one now. One more is there. So many methods are there. Okay. One second. Best I show you in the document itself. Just go through this docs. Okay. Let it remain. This is the topic interface statement. Yeah, it is already here. Different methods provided for execution of SQL queries which are present in statement and sub-interfaces of statement, that is prepared statement and callable statement. One method what I am covering is execute update. Return type is int. You have to pass an argument of type string and it should be SQL query. Another method what we will be studying is execute. Return type is boolean string. Execute batch, no argument. Return type is an array. One more is execute query. Return type is result set, but you have to send an argument of type string. So library is there, but only thing is you should know how to use the library. Fine. Now see, I think I have covered this little, but I'll be showing you more on that. Execute, till now we have used no execute. Understood? So but in depth I'll teach you today what is execute. So fine. So first I'll be going with execute update. First method which I'll be teaching you is execute. There are many overloaded methods. See this doc. But we always use these 4 methods only. See execute only, how many methods are there? Overloaded methods are there. But maximum we use this execute method only. So when we learn the library, it's not that you should know everything. Only what is extensively used we learn. Understood? So when you enter the library, even in your college or school or whatever it is impossible to learn everything. So like geography might be there, physics might be there. Only what is your interest, you will go to that segment. In that segment you will pick only required book. Similarly here also Java library is very huge. So in that we use only few things. Understood? Not all. Okay. So that this is the important method now, execute. So let's use this. So only anyway practice what methods only I am teaching you. Gradually you will understand how to use other methods. Because see in statement only so many methods are there now. Can you sit learning everything at one go? Java's classes so big there, in one class you'll have 25 methods, 30 methods. Practically you cannot learn as and when the requirement comes. See requirement came now, I want to execute a query, now I learn. Till then you can't learn, otherwise you'll never understand. So as and when the requirements keep coming to you, you'll start understanding the methods one by one now. Clear? So this is a method now, let's see now. So execute, first I'll go with execute method now. And second. So execute method, execute update method. I'll be going with execute, this is the first method, and with execute update method you can do only CUD operations. It's very simple now. I can do only CUD operations with execute update method, and return type of that is int. Done? Return type of this is int. Okay. Now what do you mean by CUD? Inserting, updating, deleting. Understood? So to make you understand this, so take, you have noted the first one now, we are going with which method now? Execute update, return type of that is int, and you can do only CUD operations. So if you want to do insert, update or delete, use execute update method. Okay, let's see one by one. So for this what I'll do is, see I got the project, today I have got the project, you can refer it if you want. Understood? See this is the project, execute update. So I have given the number, study this 1, 2, 3, 4, means see the project name, look at the project name, I give good names. So tomorrow also when you want to refer, you can refer. If you give your project name like project 1, project 2, tomorrow you will have your own project. Understood? So give project names properly so that you are able to identify what you coded is in what project. So the name of the project is execute methods of statement. In that I am having a demo class. All demo means what will happen? You will become demo. Understood? So that is why I give the name properly. Execute update demo 1 means this is the first program in this project. Understood? Next, execute demo 2. It's the second program in this project. Like that, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is how we follow conventions here. If you are coming from other institute, they will not follow this. Understood? So follow properly. So yes, here we are going to execute update now. Yeah. In this project, first let me open one. See, these are the queries we will be learning today. See, what I will do is look at these queries. So to understand that see that is a concept now. Now how can I teach a concept to you? Only with an example. So always my examples are what now? Not output based. My examples are concept based. Understood? So I'll show you some concept now. See, there's one table now. What will it have now? So there's an EMP table now. The column name would be employee underscore ID, name, salary. This is a table. So I'll be having some records here. Yes, the values what I'll be storing now is, yeah, same thing, 101, Rajesh, 1000, 102, Ramesh, 2000, 103, Ganesh, 3000, 104, Revati, 4000, 105, Ravi, 5000, 106, Kumar, 6000, 107, Rama, 7000. So this is a table, existing table now. This existing table is there in the database. You have to do it, so it will be there. So for this table, what I'll be doing is, I'll be inserting one row, I'll be updating one row, I'll be deleting. Concentrate on these 3 queries now. So totally I'll be executing 5 queries and making you understand how to do CUD operation with execute update method. Understood? First I'll go with this. Okay, see, this is how you'll insert one now. Insert into employee ID, name, salary, fine. The next query you'll write like this. So yes. Yeah, now see that class dot for name and all story continues. That you can do it now. Get the connection. Connection con is equal to driver manager dot get connection. Getting it? URL, UID, PWD. Give all this class dot for name, and you'll be using. I'll be working from now with Oracle. Understood now? If you want, you can use MySQL. So why I've thought 2 databases is, by chance if one database doesn't work in your computer, at least don't stop coding. You can do the same thing with other database. Never give up coding. Understood? This is the reason why I'm teaching you 2 databases and all that. Yeah? So your class dot for name Oracle. Means give the full name, man. Now I'll start writing in short. Don't go and type like this, sir. I'm not getting output. Understood? So do it fully now. So yes, now see con dot create statement. So we'll start off from statement now. Statement st. Understood? See this. I'll write it from here. St dot ex. 1 second. Int a. St dot execute update. Insert into EMP. I don't have space, means I will not write those 3 columns, but actually you should know how to write now. Employee ID. Okay, I will write. Some people are there like that one, you'll copy and type. Sir, wrong madudru hange martini. Use some sense and code now. Sorry. 1 inch ಆ ಕಡೆ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ? But I will run short of space, man. Shall I clear all that and start writing on the top? Okay, means these lines are common now. It is required. Yes, st dot int a is equal to st dot execute. See, u is caps. Don't write u small. Understood? Java's convention. Execute update. Insert into employee underscore ID, name, salary, values, 108 G1, some name I'll take, and 8000. Like this, some query I'll write. Understood? Yes. So when you run this query, understood? See, it is not mandatory to accept return type. It is not mandatory. Okay. But if you accept it, you might have a question now. It is returning int. What will be the value of this? If you run this query now, the return type this of will be 1. If you print SOPA, 1 it will print. Why it prints 1? Because when your query runs, see your query, this is your Java program. I'm writing in small, it will connect to database, it will send the query. A Java program will connect to database, send the query. And once it sends the query, the database will accept the query. If your query is proper, what will the SQL engine do? Compiles it, executes. So once it compiles and executes, definitely in the database, some rows are getting affected. How many rows are getting affected when I insert, means when this query is run? 1 row. So remember, insert, always only one will happen. Inserting, no, you can always insert 1 row. Means when you write on insert query will not insert multiple rows. Insert query will always insert what? Single row. But update, delete and all can affect multiple rows. So that is the key here. Means database knowledge. Understood? So that is the key here. So if I do this, yes, it will be inserted, but in the database, yes, how many rows are getting affected? Only 1. See, this is your program. See, the query was sent. This is your Java program. You got the result. Okay, it is 1. Why? Because only 1 row is affected. Understanding now? See, understand the concept. First concept you understand, then you'll understand the output. Understood? Your program sends the query to the database. The database will accept the query and it will give it to the SQL engine. SQL engine compiles it. If your query is proper, it will execute. Understood? And once the execution happens, some rows will be affected there. But this insert query will affect only single row. So that is the reason, yes, whatever is that, how many rows are getting affected, that return type will be given to you. Means 1. Done? Yes. Next, I'll write one more query. Int B is equal to st dot execute update. Now whether you want to accept the return type or not, you decide. If you want to know the number of rows getting affected, accept it. If you do not want to know, leave it. It is as simple as that. Understood? It's not mandatory always to accept the return type. Yes. See, update. EMP set salary is equal to 333. Some 4 3s. Where name is equal to Ganesh. These queries will be given to you. Done? So now when I run this query, it will update. See, the query has been sent from the program, compiles, executes. So once it executes, 1 row is getting affected now. This will change, we change to what? 333. How many rows got affected? 1. That result is given to your variable now. So again, if you print SOPB, 1 only it will be. So right now I'm showing you executing, means 3 queries I can execute. Insert, update, delete. Right now I'm writing it so that it affects only single row. Next, one more. Int C. I'll delete. st dot execute update. Delete EMP where you have to give the condition, else all the records will be deleted. Employee underscore ID is equal to 104. So what will happen now? See here, note all the changes. This row is getting modified. Understood? 1 row got inserted. Ganesh salary has become 333. Then 104 Revati is deleted. Yes or no? Only 1 record. So again C will have what? 1. Next. Yeah. So this is, here I am showing you only 1 row getting affected. Now I'll write 2 more queries. Okay. So when I write those 2 more queries, it will affect multiple rows. There you will understand what is the advantage of int. Now see one more. Int P is equal to st dot execute update. Update employee set salary is equal to 999. Some values I am giving, where employee ID is greater than 106. Where employee ID is greater than, so you can write all your SQL queries now. Whatever I thought in database, you can write now. And right now I'm working with single table. Later on we'll work with multiple tables. Joins and all that will come later. Done? So update salary. So now where salary employed is greater than 106, how many salaries will be updated now? How many are there greater than 106? How many records? 2 records. Means only 107 and 108 is greater than 106. So these records, see this was 3000, it is updated to 3333 first time. Now this is updated to 999, it is overwriting, just I am writing it beside for you. This will also become what? 999. This will be removed and changed to 999. So 2 rows. So yes, P will print you what now? 2. Understood? How many rows they affect? That will be the count there. Next, delete employee. One more. Int R is equal to st dot execute update. Delete employee where employee ID is less than 104. How many records are there less than 104? 3. Less than, not equal to. Less than 104 means only 3 are there. So 103, 101, 102, 103 will be deleted. So now R will be, see now I will write the values. A will print 1, B will print 1, C will print 1, 2, 3. This will be the result. I'll execute, it will execute. But we are not focusing on these queries now, we are focusing on what? Return type. Getting it? We are focusing on the return type. Parallelly we are learning how to write the queries. So simple in Java. You get the connection, start writing your queries now. What more do you need? Unbelievable. Understood? So fine. So here, see, I am showing you here, understand is again what is the concept. Here inserting single row. Here updating single row. Here deleting single row. Understood? Here updating multiple rows. This one is deleting multiple rows. But in one query I can't insert multiple rows. Understanding the meaning now? In one insert query I can't insert multiple rows. Always one insert will insert only one row. But update and delete can affect multiple rows. For this you should refer to database if you want more information on these queries. Understood? Yes. So shall I clear all this now? We'll execute and see. So this is, you have written it down now. So this is the answer we expect. See, I have only one chance to execute this program, because once I run the program, you know what will happen now. So means the rows will be deleted and all that. So carefully observe it only once. Again and again I can't do it. Understood? So just observe it now. Shall I clear? See, the queries used for this program, I'll be giving you with the project itself, employee.txt. Open it, you'll find all these queries. What you do now, copy all these queries. These are the only queries required, because these will be doing it through program now. Understood? So what I'll do, I'll connect, we are working in database now. So fine. So you can connect to Oracle like this also if you know this IP address. Otherwise you go and click there, home page, or http://localhost apex. See, if you have tools, it becomes very easy to work. Else you can't, if you sit typing now, insert into, full day will be doing what? Only insert only. The program will not run. That is why I am teaching you how to use tools, Apex tool and all that. Done? Okay, this is one thing. So in company also, if you put in resume, I know Java will not get job. You should put what? Tools, like Eclipse. Eclipse is on tool to work with Java. Apex is on tool to work with Oracle. SQL Yog is on tool to work with MySQL. Understood? So these keywords are very, very essential when you prepare your resume. Simply your resume will be floated. What? Languages known, C, C++, Java, database known, Oracle, MySQL, then operating system known, extra, Windows, Linux, Solaris also I will put. Understood? So that is not the way, because everybody's resume will be common. How should the HR pick your resume? They'll be confused. Understood? So something you have to highlight in your resume which sets apart your resume from others. So the keywords what you put in your resume are very, very, very important. So all this, even though they look small now, what? Apex, Eclipse, like this, more tools I'll be covering. They become very important in the preparation of your resume. Understood? Yes, not because you cannot work now. How will you work with Oracle? See these many queries I can type. See what I'll do now. I pasted. First what I'll do, there's already a table here. See, there's already a table here with the name what? EMP, data is there. I don't want this, so what I'll do? See, two things I have kept. This one, okay, I'll close it off if you're getting confused. Okay, so there are two things here. So one is the editor and this one is what? Browser. Okay, object browser we say. Okay, what I'll do now? Yes, see, run. Table is dropped. Understood? Now next what I'll do? Execute your queries. Table created. Then next. Anyway, there are no records. If you say select star from EMP, you can see everything here. It's getting executed. So imagine typing this when will you finish your project. That's why learn tools. One row inserted. Insert into one row inserted. Then next row. And just selecting and running, man, that's it. So these queries I'll give it to you. You don't sit and type. I know you can write the silly queries. Understood? You are very intelligent. So you can just run like this. And if you want, you can check here. Yes, again, it will be having the same 3 rows. I have just inserted 3. Okay, then next we'll continue. As I told you, I inserted 7 records. You can see it here now. Yes, sit and count. Random order. There is no guarantee the values will be inserted in the same order because Oracle security it is. Understood? So next, let us run this program. I have only one chance. Understood? Because rows will get deleted. Look at the code. Before in hand only. Everything same. Coding you know now. Class.phoname, everything same. I'm connecting to Oracle, same queries. So A, B, C. The queries what I wrote on the board. Then what? Update. So we have to focus on these values now. Value of A, value of B, value of C. Yes. And I'll get and print here also. If you want to get the values and print, that is your wish. But to retrieve the values, which method I'm using? That you notice. I'm not saying execute update. I'm saying what? Execute query. Because execute query can do only read operation. We'll come to that. We are focusing on execute update now. Fine. Are you clear with this? If at all, whenever you want to retrieve values, use execute query only. Done. So library is telling you very clearly. See, I'm running the program. Yes. So yeah, that is what we expected. 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. Yes or no? And you can go and check in the database now. DB. Refresh and see. So what all we have done? 3, 3, 3. Okay, that is deleted anyway. Less than. Yes, I delete anything which is less than 104. So it was updated and deleted. Gone. And then what are the few things? Yeah, I updated 2 salaries were greater than 106 or something. 999. Then I inserted one record G1. Whatever I did, it's been shown here. Go through. Or you can comment one by one and see. That's your wish. Understood? Okay. So understood how to use execute method now? Same thing we'll see with what now? Execute update. Same queries will be seen with execute update. So shall I go with the next query? Sorry, next method? Sorry, execute. I completed execute, update, but now I'll go with execute. Understood? And the return type of execute is what? Boolean. And I have to pass one string only. But you can do CRUD operation here. You can write select also. In what? Execute. So let's see. Are you getting the idea why we can't write select in select execute update? Because if you write, I'll go back to execute later. One second. You're talking about execute update. In execute update, why can't I write select? Because when you select, multiple values will come. How will a single int store the value, man? Because your query, when you write select star, what will happen? So many values will be coming in. One int cannot store all the values now from the database. So that is why we cannot write. It's quite logical now. If you're asking the question why I can't do simple logical answers, they are doing it like that. Are you clear now why I can't write select? Yeah? If I write select, return type, it will return multiple values. And int cannot hold all those values. And by chance, if I run this program again, if I want, see this, I'll run. Okay, again 2 rows are getting inserted. Yes or no? By chance, if I execute, see only 1 row got inserted. And updating is not happening because records are not there. Where Ganesh is not there now. Look at your queries. Next one is deleting. That query is also not there. So it's 0. Then means if any changes happen, that will be the count here. And we are updating some rows. Where salary is greater than 106. So yes, 3 rows are again updated. Means 999 is again overwritten to what? 999 only. But 3 rows are getting definitely affected. So 106 also, 107 also it is affected again. 108 also it is affected. So it is 3. Again if I rerun the program, it will be 10040. Yes or no? Because one more row gets added, no? Go on running, you'll understand. So means what I am trying to say is don't expect one standard output always. Sir told 11123 only, it should give me 11123 only. Understood? So understand programming first, concepts you understand. Okay, now it becomes what? 10040 because one more G1 got inserted, so total number of rows gets affected when you update are 4. Understood? So again I'll run, what will be the answer? 10050. Simple. Understood? So that's why I told in one go you can see it. Otherwise you have to, again what you have to do? Drop the table, create the table, insert the record, what I did. Same thing you have to go on doing. If you want to see again what? 11123, again redo everything. Understood? Yes sir. Then next. Yeah, and you also understood why we can't write select queries with execute update. Yes. Now we'll go with execute method. It has been very clearly written here. See the document, I've told you very clearly. Execute update method returns a number value which represents the number of rows getting affected on execution of the SQL query. Very clearly I have documented. Okay. This point in internet you will not understand. See, I'm going to Google now. Java.sql.statement. There are many ways to search, man. Just I'm showing you all the possible ways. Statement in Java, java.sql.statement, anything you type, you'll get all the document. Same document you'll get. So execute method, yes. Sorry, execute update method. We studied this. Okay. Read it. Executes the given SQL, which may be in an insert, update or delete statement or an SQL statement that returns nothing. Something like that. You can even execute DDL queries. Create table, which one? Drop table, all you can do. Understood? You can create table, drop table, all that we'll discuss in the next class. Right now I'm only discussing which one? DML queries and DRL queries. DML means what? Data manipulation language. DRL means data retrieval language. DML means insert, update, delete. DRL means select. We are learning those queries. Are you clear? So he is saying we can execute even DDL. Means any SQL query can be executed, man. As simple as that. These 4 methods can be used to execute what? Any SQL query. That we'll be seeing it next. Are you following? So we are going with only DML and DRL, that is CRUD operations. So done with this? Okay. So since again if you want more information you go, but what I have done is with my experience, I am putting them into simple statements which you can understand. Nothing more I am doing. Whether you refer to Balguru Swami book or anybody's book, we try to do the same thing. We read all those docs. Generally, if you want to learn Java, what you do? You learn books now. You hold books. What are books teaching? Nothing. They refer to these docs and they give you some example. Again explaining the same concept like what I am doing. That is how Java is organized. Clear? Any author you take, same story, you open JDBC now. Same story will be there. Only their explanation style will vary with some different example. But all things are same here. Done? Okay. So we will go with execute now. Are you following now how to go through the library? Yes. So what does execute method do next? Okay. Executes a SQL statement that may return multiple results. Okay. So first I'll execute it, then we'll come to this doc. So I'll go to the next program now. Execute. Demo 2. Okay. So this is the second program. Same things here. No difference. But only thing what I am doing is I am calling execute method. Return type is Boolean this time. Understood? So yes, what do you expect the answer to be now? For insert it will be false. Update also it will be false. Means insertion will happen. Updation will happen. Means everything will execute now. Understood? Means don't think the right now existing table, I'll remodify the table again. Again I'll keep it back as it is. But when you run the query, insert will be false, update will be false, delete will be false. Updating means doing these three things with single row will be false. Doing update and delete with multiple rows also will be false. Means A, B, C, P, Q all will be false. Now when will it be true? If at all you write select query, that time it will be true. Understood? Are you clear with this? So you can write a select query like this, st.execute select star from. So now see, this execute method has been designed in such a way that if at all any values are returned by execution of the database query, if it is returned, that time it will be true. Now you tell whether an insert statement will return a value from the database for you. No. Update statement will return any value from the database to you. No. Delete will return any value from the database to you. No. The only query which can return a value from the database is select. So that is why it will be true. And here select star from the return type is Boolean. This is not holding any value. It only tells some values are returned. So now see how I get the result set. You can get the result in this style also. But generally we do it as st.execute query. See, st.execute, I'll do z. Then I'll say if true what I'll say? st.get result set. This is one more way. Till now where are you getting the result set? st.get execute query. Yes or no? So there is one more method in statement only, which is called as what? Get result set. Return type of that is what? Result set. But to call st.get result set, first you should have executed which one? st.execute. See, there are two ways you can get the result set. One, directly say what? st.execute query. Till now which you are doing? Select star from. You can do like this. Return type will be directly what? Result set. This is one option. Other option is what? Selected. You will get some Boolean. If true. Means again this is optional. If true and all. Directly I can say what? st.execute. st.get result set. Return type is result set. Again those values are then result set object. You can iterate and get all the values. Done? So fine now. See this. So all this will be false now. Clear? So when is here what is the document telling now? Clearly see this. It executes a SQL statement that may return multiple results. May. Okay. Any query means it can execute SQL query that all SQL queries will not return a result. Only select queries will return a result. So just understand, if the query is of type insert, update or delete, then it is always false because it does not return any values to the Java program. If the query is of type select, then return type is always true because select will return values to the Java program. That's how it has been designed. So understand what they are telling, then only you can program here. Understood? Fine. Next. So what I have to do now again? I have to drop table, yes. Now this is why it becomes very important, tools. Clear? Table created, run. Now and commit it. Always it's advisable to commit. Okay, so then yes, commit, see the records. Refresh. Always. Okay, these many records I got. 4 I have not inserted. 102, 103. 4 I did not insert. I'll execute it again and I'll insert it. Yeah, 1 row inserted. Now I can come back and see again. It has got inserted. So we'll run the program now. Clear? See all now, false. Same effect, but the result is what? A is false, B is false, C is false, P is false, Q is false. But A, B, C are affecting single row. P, Q are affecting multiple rows. But Z is true. Value of Z for selecting rows, true. If true, I got the result set. How do you get the result set? st dot get result set. This is also one more way you can get. But first execute and then say get result set. But generally we follow st dot execute query only. Understood? It is one line will be avoided, no? You can take it like that. Understood? And if you want to see here, statement dot, what is that method? Get result set, no? See, in the statement, I mean the statement interface. And execute query method is here, where there return type is result set. Same way, there is one more method, get result set. Return type is result set. Document is clearly telling you. So without referring docs, don't code. Always advisable to refer to docs. Done. Are you clear? Any doubts here? That's all about what? Execute method. That's all about execute method. So now I'll go with batch. Execute batch. Same story. Understood? Same story, same 5 queries. No difference. See, generally what happens, first I'll make you understand what is a batch. Okay, see, this is your Java program. So when you run your Java program, you have the first query, st.execute. Execute or execute update, any method now. You can take execute or execute update. I'll say insert, one query I'll insert. Then again I'll say st.execute. Again I'll say insert, anything you want to do, that's your wish. Then again I'll say st.execute. I might update. Okay, then again I say st.execute. And I'll say insert one more. Like this, you'll be writing multiple queries, not 1 or 2. Understood? So what exactly happens? See, class.forName all will continue. Class.forName, connection con, statement st, all this is okay. Okay, so exactly how the program is going to run is when you run your Java program, first the driver will be loaded and it will get the connection to the database. Means this table is there in schema, all that process is there. Schema, database, all that. Okay, so it will get connected. Once the connection is established, now the first query is executed. So now see the problem. Query, it's not a problem, we are just seeing the performance now. Performance. Query, st.execute and say the query is sent to the database. The query is sent to the database. So that is, we call it as request. Understood? Then next step, what happens? After the query is sent to the database, the query has to compile. Yes? So we say request time plus compilation time. Then after compiling, next obviously it has to execute. So we say execution time, compilation time, or 1 second, request time plus compilation time plus execution time plus response time. So these many things have to happen: request time, compilation time. So approximately, if I keep an average of 5 seconds, not that much is not taking, just exaggerating to make you understand. Supposedly request is 5 seconds, compilation is 5 seconds. I'm exaggerating, you're getting the output in 0.01 second only, I know, just to make you understand. Understood? A compilation is 5 seconds, sorry, all are 5 seconds now. So total execution will become what now? 20 seconds. So for every query, I got 5 queries here. So it will become 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. Totally it will become 20 seconds. So for every query, how many seconds it will take now? 20. 20 seconds for this query, 20 seconds for this query, 20 seconds for this query. So it is actually, here one problem is we are losing time. This two we cannot avoid. Can I avoid the compilation time and execution time? That I cannot avoid, because query has to get compiled and executed. These 10 seconds will remain standard because 5 for both queries. But definitely I can reduce the request time and response time. Yes or no? How? Do one thing, don't send the queries in separately like this. What you do? Put the queries in a batch and then send the batch. So what will happen now? Your request time and response time will reduce. Means if I send 5 queries now, what is going to happen? Request time will be 5 seconds. Response time will be 5 seconds. Yes? So request time, response time will totally, see, this is for 5 queries, it would have become 100 seconds. If I send it separately like this. But if I send it in a batch, request time and response time will be fixed to what? 10 seconds. Compilation and execution will remain same, that is 50. For 5 queries it will be 10 seconds. Totally it will become 60 seconds. So your performance is increased by 40 seconds now. Imagine, like you'll be coding big applications. All this matters a lot. In fact, 0.0001 second also will be a matter when you write applications, performance wise. Understood? Microseconds also they calculate. So when that is the case, at least you can increase just by changing your method. You are increasing the performance of your application. So this add batch is used when you want to send multiple queries to the data. Single query, what I can do? If I want one query, it doesn't matter whether I send it as batch or anything, because totally it will be 20 seconds only. That one query, if I send it in a batch also, it will be 20 seconds only. But more than one query if you want to send. Understood? So definitely it will be taking more time. This is a very crucial information what I am giving you, because you know your UI. Yes, you will be having around 10 fields: name, password, phone number, address. Now when you get these values from the UI into your program, that is into your program, understood? So many values will be there. Now all values will be not dumped into a single table. Yes or no? You will be storing it in what? Multiple tables. So you will be writing those many insert queries. Yes or no? So don't, I have taught you in database all this, primary key, foreign key, this concept. So that time what happens? In those scenarios you use what? Batch. Yes or no? See, one employee is trying to become a member, but he'll be giving you thousands of, means not some many values. When he's giving you many values, what you should do now? Send it as batch. Following now? Send it as batch, and now automatically it will execute as one single request and response. So this is how in the programming, when you're programming applications, now you should decide whether I'll use execute or whether I'll use execute update or whether it's batch. Understood? So this is how actually things will get, you have to understand and code now. Are you clear with this now? Okay. So just I'll show you now. So now fine. The return type of add batch is what? Array. Sorry, execute batch is array. First I'll show you the code. Then you start understanding. Are you clear with this now? Where to use execute batch? You have to use it in your projects. Without code using this, your performance will drastically go down. Understood? So let's see. So always a batch will reduce what? Request time and response time. More than that, nothing else. A batch will never reduce compilation time and execution time. It will definitely reduce request time and response time and increases the performance of your application. Yeah, see the code now. Very simple it is. Same table I will be using with the same records. See st dot add batch, add batch, add batch, add batch, add batch. Query has still not been sent. Finally I'll say what? Execute batch. That's it. When I say execute batch, return type is what? Array. We'll see what is the result of that array. Clear? But the return type of execute batch is array. So now the queries will be sent in batch. But here in execute batch there is no argument. For execute batch there is no argument. Unlike execute update, what was there? You had arguments you had to send. But now I am not sending any arguments. Done? Fine, that's all. So now what happens? Can you guess? Same queries. It will execute. See, all the queries will go. Now see, the first query executes. Yes or no? How many rows are getting affected? 1. Second query executes. 1 row is affected. Third query executes. 1 row is affected. Fourth query is executed. How many rows are affected? 2, 3. So you'll have an array of 5 here. Totally length will be 5. Length will be 5. In the 0th index, you'll be having the result of the first query affected how many rows. So if you iterate and print, it will print you 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. Means the number of rows which get affected, that count will be there. See, this query executes, that will be put into the 0th index. This query executes, it will the result means how many rows are getting affected will be put into the first index. This row executes, this query executes, how many rows are getting affected, it will put into the next index. It will be having that. Understood? So 5 queries are there, means totally it will be length is 5. Understood? But index starts from 0. You know how the array works now? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it will print, but that's the index. In the 0th index, you will be having what? This is the array. This is the index. Okay, I'll write like this. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. In the 0th one, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. This is what will be stored. Done? Okay. Now when you are sending a batch, don't think you have to send always what? Insert. Okay. You can send insert, update, delete, all in one batch only. Generally people think what batch means you have to send only insert. Your batch should contain what? Only insert statements. Means another batch, only update statement, nothing like that. When you prepare one batch you can send what? Jumble up. Insert also you can write, update also you can write, delete also you can write. Inserting, updating, deleting single row, inserting, updating, deleting multiple rows. So like this you can mix and send. Understood? It's only reducing request and response time, but you can't do select. It is common sense now. How can that return the value? Understood? It cannot return a value. So again I have to run and show you this. Same story. Yeah, we have got the records. So I'll run the program now. 7 records are there. I'll run the batch. Yes, see when I'm iterating and printing, it is printing 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. Understood? And the value for A means what is the value of A? See this. I'm just printing this, man, nothing else. Value for A executing batch means A dot length is 5. Length of that is 5. And when I iterate and print in the array, you got 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. So it's the same thing, you can see it in the document. Execute batch. What it does? it is used for doing CUD operation. You cannot do read operation. It is used for doing batch updates, or it is used to submit multiple queries at once to the database. It returns an array of int. It returns an array of int. Each index containing a number value which indicates the number of rows getting affected on execution of every SQL query. We can do only 3 operations with batch updates, but cannot write select queries. Batch update avoids. What is the advantage of batch update? It's a very important interview question. How do you increase the performance of your application? This is one of the way how you can increase the performance of your application, by sending the queries in batch. This is one of the way. There are many ways. So batch updates avoids multiple calls between application and the database. Because of this, network traffic will be reduced and performance of the application will be increased. Simple. Now execute query is right now, it's a big subject. Okay. Now because we have to write a lot of selects, we have written hardly select star. So I'll just finish off with a little about execute query. Next class we'll start more into execute query. But execute query is used for doing what? Read operations. So today I completed CRUD, but execute query is majorly used for doing what? Read operations. Okay, so fine, now let's see what it does. Execute query is used to execute select statements. When you use execute query for executing select statements, it returns what? A result set object, and which is capable of storing multiple rows and columns returned by select SQL statement. It's an object which is capable of storing multiple rows and columns. The result set object, understood? So we cannot write insert, update, delete queries using execute query, because those queries will not return any value now. So what will the result set store? Okay, so that's why, because these queries cannot generate any result set, due to which exception gets created. Don't do it, that's it. When they say don't do it, don't do it. Otherwise simply exception will occur. Why do you want to break your head? Done? So with execute query always you do what? Same program, but this time I will not run. You understand now. What is it? Just here I am showing you select star. Whatever records are there, it will show now. If at all you want to do read operation, say what? Selection. If you want to write select, execute query. Other option also I showed you, but this is the actual way we generally do it. Done? So actually there are 4 records, I think, only those will be displayed. Done? So this is how you do CRUD operations with database. Clear? Still more queries I'll execute and show, and your concepts will become more clearer and clearer. So your focus should be only this now, how it is working. Now who is giving you what database, who is giving you driver class and all, what will I do with that now? Finally, end of the day, what is our requirement? Get output. Yes or no? You want what? Output, no? Get. Put, you'll get output. Means you code and put, you'll get output. So, are you clear with all this now? Sorry, one thing I have forgotten, I think. I didn't talk about advantages of type 4 driver, no? So, okay. It's a simple thing, just type 4 has the best performance, okay, and they do not require too many compilations. Type 1 and type 2 driver do not need, just points you note down, okay, and it has less maintenance. These are the advantages, okay. And at client side, a separate driver is needed for every database. You change the database, you need the driver. A simple 3-4 points. Understood? Okay, that's it then.